child. Do we have toString in the child? No. There is no toString method in the child. When the toString is not available in the child, then it will check, does this child having any parent directly? Yes, there is a direct parent. It will go to immediate parent. Is there any toString? ToString is not available. Then it will check, does this class having any direct parent? No. Then it will go for object. It will check in the object. Do we have toString method in the object class? Yes. Then it will call object class toString methods. So every Java class can access object class methods. There are 11 methods available in the object class. Every Java class can access them because object is by default to superclass for all the classes in the Java, either directly or indirectly. When it will become direct superclass, when it will become indirect superclass? Come on, man. When our class having a super, then object will become indirect. If our class does not have a super, then object will become indirect super. Are you clear? How methods will be executed in the inheritance? Yes. Can we write a program and see? Yeah. Theoretically we are good. Now let's understand practically. Okay. Sir, oops are easy or difficult? Easy. Easy and interesting. Boring. Who is that? After listening to in the demo also, I will make oops easy for you. I'm trying to do it. Yes. Okay. Guys, now let us see here. I'm taking a class called parent. Inside the parent I'm writing m1. System.out.println parent m1 method. Parent class m1 method called. Okay. Now I'm writing a class called child. Inside the child I'm writing m2. System.out.println child class m2 called. Parent class m1 called. Child class m2 called. Now create the object. For which class? Child class. Now in the lab today I have seen so many people are writing one class inside another class. Currently we don't know how to work with inner classes. First you complete that class, then only you start the another class. Got it? And I have seen some people are writing one method inside another method. That is invalid. You cannot write one method inside another method. As a beginner, you may do that mistake, but it is illegal. One method we can call from another method, but nested methods are not possible. Nested loops are possible. Inside one loop, you can write another loop, but inside one method, you cannot write another method. It is wrong. Okay. Now, I am not writing nested classes. This is one class. It is started here, it is ended here. It is not a nested class. So this is one class, this is one class, this is one class. In this file, there are 3 classes available. Okay. So inside the test class, I am writing main method. Child C is equal to new child. Child C is equal to new child. C dot m1 and c dot m2. C dot m1 and c dot m2. Thus methods are returning anything or methods are not returning anything. M1 is not returning anything, M2 also not returning anything. Why I am getting error? Ah. Is there any parent-child relation? No. These are two normal Java classes. Those are two normal Java classes. There is no relation. When I call c.m1, compiler is checking in this child class m1 method not available, and in the object also m1 is not available. That's why it is failing. Right? Yeah. Listen, concentrate. Now, so here I'm going to write class child extend parent. Class child extend parent. Now tell me c.m1 where it will check. In the child class. Does the child having that? Child does not have it. Then it will call which m1 method? Parent m1. c.m2. c.m2. Child class m2. Okay, run this program. What is the output? What is the output? c.m1, c.m2. What is the output I am going to get now? c.m1, c.m2. What is the output? Parent class m1 will be called. Child class m2 will be called. Run this program. Right click. Run as Java application. Are we able to see that? Parent m1 is called. Child m2 got called. Now I want to call c dot hash code. Hash code is our method or object method? Object method. What is the return type of m1? Void. Can I store into any variable? No. If a method returns something, then only we can store into variable. What is the return type of m1? Void. That means it will not return anything. Then I am going for c.m2. What is the purpose of m2? Just printing. Is it returning anything? No. Then c.hash code. Is it our method or is it object class method? Object class method. Does this object class returning anything? What is the return type? Integer. Can I store that into a variable? Yes. Integer hash code. Integer hash code. Can I print it? System.out.println hash code. What is the hash code? A unique number which is assigned by the JVM for every object. Hash code is the unique number which is assigned by the JVM for every object. Yes, let's run this. Run as Java application. Are we able to get the hash code? Yes, we are able to get the hash code. Okay. Now I am going to write m2 here. This is parent class m2. I am going to write m1 here. This is child class m1. Okay. Now observe. Parent also having m1. Child is also having m1. Parent is having m2. Child also having m2. Now tell me, if I call m1, which class method will execute? Child class. Why? First it will check only in the child class. Child class m1 will be executed. c.m2. c.m2. Child class m2 only will execute. c.hash code. Object class. First it will check in our child. Then it will check in our parent. Then it will check in object. Hash code is available in the object class. It will execute. Run this. Run as Java application. m1, m2 executed from child class. Hash code is executed from object class. Then let me do one thing. I am going to write int hash code return 101. Yeah, I'm writing public int hash code. Okay. Now c.m1, which class method will be called? It is going to call the child class method. c.m2, m1 is available in the child class. m2 also available in the child class. m2 also available in the child class. Hash code. C dot hash code. What it will do now? Check in the child class. Do we have hash code method? Yes. Will it call that or it will go for parent? It will call the child only. So M1 will execute from child class. M2 also will execute from child class. Hash code also will execute from child class. Run this program. Yes, 101 is the output. If I don't write this method here, then it will call object class method. Object class method is returning this number. My method is returning 101. My method is returning 101. Are you clear? Good. So with this, you got the clarity how methods will be executed when we go for inheritance. Any questions, anybody? Yes. Guys, did you get the clarity now? Yes. So whenever we go for inheritance, we are going to create the child class object. When we create the child class object, first it will check the method in the child class. If the child class contains the method, directly it is going to call the child class method. In the child class, if the method is not available, then it will check in the child parent, direct parent. If direct parent not available, then it will go for indirect parent, that is called object. Okay. But my requirement is M2 method, I don't want to execute from my child. Even though my child is having M2, I want to call parent M2. I am going to call the parent M2. When I want to call the parent M2, instead of c.m2, I will call super.m2. It will not work out here. Why? Because test class does not have any super class. Test class does not have any super class. In this M2, what I will call super.m2. What is the meaning of super.m2? What is the super keyword? Super is used to refer parent class properties. So super keyword we can access only in the child. Now in this test class, can I call parent M2? No, because test is a normal Java class. Test is not having any parent. If I go for child is having a parent. I am calling M2. Inside the child M2, what I am writing? Super.m2. What is the meaning of super.m2? Accessing its parent. Accessing its parent. Okay. Then do this. Run this. Why parent class M2 method called? Child class M2 method having super.m2. Super keyword is used to refer parent class properties. Super keyword is used to refer parent class properties. Are you clear? Good. So with this we understood how method call will happen. Bolo bhai. Yes, because c.m2 first child method will be called. Inside the child we are calling parent method. So child will execute. Child is making the call for parent, then parent also will execute. For which, yeah, from here you can't do that because it is a separate class. Yes, super keyword you have to use only in the child classes. Only in the child class. Right. What you want to avoid? don't want to call, whenever you call c dot m2, you don't want to call the child class method. Here you can't do super. Why? Suppose if you want to do the super, I have to remove the, here I have to keep the main method in the child. If I keep main method in the child, then I can do super dot m2 from there. Then again, this is a static method. Super is a instance. That is an instance method, right? That instance method cannot be accessed directly from here. We'll talk about. We'll come to super keyword. Then we will talk about how to use that super keyword. Yeah. So currently we are using child class methods we are calling. In future, when I explain super keyword, I will tell you how to access them. Good. Fine. Methods execution order. Are you able to understand? Yes. Can we change parent class instance variable from child class? Yeah, typecasting, yes, we'll come to that. Here, parent class reference variable can hold child class object, that is the typecasting concept, we'll talk about it. Yeah, look at the program. Having void m1, having void m2. M1 method is available and m2 method is available in the parent class. And here we are having child class. Child class extending the properties from the parent. Child class having hash code method, having m1 method, having m2 method. Now I am creating the object for the child. Child c is equal to new child c dot m1, c dot m2, c dot hash code. What is the meaning of that? C dot m1. First it will check in the child class. In the child class it is going to call the m1 method. It will not check in the parent. Then we will go for c dot m2. C dot m2 also available in the child. C dot hash code. What is c dot hash code? First it will check in the child. Child does not have that hash code. Then it will go for parent. Parent also does not have the hash code. Then it will going to check the object. Does the object having a hash code? Yes. Object class is having the hash code and it is going to return the int value. That int value we are going to print. That is a unique number which is assigned by the JVM for every object. Are you clear? Good. So when we call the method by using a object, when we call a method using object, first it will check in current class. First it will check in current class for that method. If available, it will call that method directly. Call that method directly. If method not available in current class, then it will check in parent. It will check in the parent. Maybe direct parent or indirect parent. It can be direct or indirect parent. If parent having that method, then it will call parent class method. If parent class also does not have the method, then it will throw exception. That method should be available either in the child class or it should be available in the parent. If it is not available in the child, then it is going to throw exception. For example, I am going to call c dot hello. I'm going to call a method called c dot hello. So first it is going to check this available in the child class. Is that a hello method available in the child class? No, not available in the child class. If it is not available in the child class, then what it will do? It will check in the parent. Is that method available in the parent? That method is not available in the parent. It is not available in the parent. So if it is not available in the child, if it is not available in the parent, we'll check in the object. Do we have that method in the object? That method is not there in the object also. If it is not there in the object also, then it is saying the exception. What is that exception? The method hello is undefined for the type child class was. In the child class hello is not available. In the parent class hello is not available. In the object class also hello is not available. That's why we cannot call the hello method. We cannot call the hello method. Are you guys getting that? Good. Yes. So with this, we understood what is inheritance and how the methods execution will be there in the inheritance. Methods execution flow. Methods execution flow in inheritance with respect to inheritance. So one thing that you need to remember, always priority will be given to child class method. If a child class does not have the method, then it will give the priority for the parent class method. If a child having that method, it will call only child class method. In inheritance, always priority will be given for child class object, child or subclass, either child class or subclass object. In inheritance, always priority will be given for child class or subclass object. It will be given for child class or subclass object. If a child class does not have, if a child class does not have that method, doesn't contain that method, then priority will be given to parent class method. If a child class does not contain that method, then priority will be given to parent class method. If a parent also does not have the method, exception. Either method should be there in the child or in the parent. Then only we can call. If that method not available in the parent, not available in the child, then it will go for exception. If it is not there in the object, either it should be there in the child or direct parent or indirect parent. If it is not available anywhere, then it is a exception. We cannot call that method. We cannot call that method. Perfect. Methods execution flow. Can you please read it? Completed, guys? Yes. Next one. Yes. What is the next concept? Polymorphism. What is polymorphism? If one object is exhibiting multiple behaviors, then that is called as a polymorphism. If the method is if the object which exhibits multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as a polymorphism. Poly means many. Yes. Phism, nothing but forms. Many forms. That means if the object is exhibiting multiple behaviors, then that is called as a polymorphism. If object is exhibiting multiple behaviors, then it is called as polymorphism. If any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, if any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. If any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. I told you example, human being. If I come to the class, I will act as a trainer. If I go to office, I will act as an employee. If I go to home, house member, family member. Like so, I am only one person, but based on the situation, I will change my behavior. If I come to class, as a trainer, go to office, employee, go to home, family member, like that. So if any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. If any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. Are you clear with this? Now, polymorphism is divided into two types: static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism. Getting my point? Polymorphism is divided into two types. One is static polymorphism. Second one is dynamic polymorphism. Static polymorphism, another one is dynamic polymorphism. The example for static polymorphism is overloading. The example for dynamic polymorphism is overriding. Overloading and overriding. Already we discussed about constructor overloading. What is the constructor overloading? Writing more than one constructor with different parameters is called as overloading. Here also same thing, overloading and overriding. Static polymorphism and dynamic polymorphism, this is also called as compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism, and this is called as runtime polymorphism. Guys, almost we come to end of the OOPS concepts. Another 1 week we will finish it. Another not 1 week also, just another 3-4 classes we are done. Good. Now we are trying to talk about polymorphism. Last concept is abstraction. Interfaces, substrate classes. Katam. Right. Polymorphism. What is polymorphism? If any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. Polymorphism is divided into two types. One is called as static polymorphism, another one is called as dynamic polymorphism. Static polymorphism is also called as compile time polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism also called as runtime polymorphism. For static polymorphism, the example is overloading. For dynamic polymorphism, example is overriding. First we need to understand what is overloading and what is overriding. If we understand what is overloading and what is overriding, then we will understand what is the static polymorphism, what is dynamic polymorphism. Are you guys clear with this? Now, overloading can be done with methods or constructors. Constructors also will support for overloading, methods also will support for overloading. But overriding will supported by only methods. Constructors will not support for overriding. Why it will not support? We can understand. We will understand that. Okay, let's talk about method overloading. What is the concept, guys? Method overloading. The process of writing more than one method with the same name and different parameters is called as method overloading. Observe carefully. We are trying to understand which concept now. Polymorphism. What is the meaning of polymorphism? If any object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. Polymorphism is divided into two types: static, dynamic. Static is the example for overloading. Dynamic is the example for overriding. That means what operation that an object has to perform will be decided at the compile time only. That is called compile time polymorphism. Are you guys getting my point? When I come from my house, when I come to the gate, then I will decide, should I go to class or should I go to office? Yes or no? So at the initial stage only, at the compile time only, object will decide how to behave. My object can have different behaviors. My object can have different behavior. It will be decided at the compile time. So now my object will decide what to do at the compile time. If an object can take the decision at the compile time, then it is called compile time polymorphism. If an object is taking a decision at the runtime, that is called runtime polymorphism. In the Java, our program is executing in two steps. One is compilation, second one is execution. What is the difference between compilation and execution? What is the difference between compilation and execution? Compilation will be done by the compiler, execution will be done by the JVM. If a compiler decides behavior of the object, that is called compile time polymorphism. If a JVM decides behavior of the object, that is called runtime polymorphism. So decision making will happen at the compile time, will happen at the runtime. If decision making happening at the compile time, it is called static polymorphism, also called as compile time polymorphism. If decision making happening in the runtime, then it is called as dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism. In order to understand compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism, we are taking the examples as overloading and overriding. Are you clear? Theoretically? Yes. Now let's understand what is method overloading. Writing, the process of writing. The process of writing methods with the same, the process of writing more than one method with the same name and different parameters is called as method overloading. The process of writing more than one method with the same name and different parameters is called as method overloading. Okay, let me take a class. New class that is called calculator. I'm taking a class called calculator. Okay, now I'm writing void m1r void add int I comma int j system dot out dot println I plus j. Yes, integer I comma integer j. How many parameters available? Two parameters are available. Then go for void add int I comma int j comma int k ijk system dot out dot println. I'm going to take sum I plus j plus k. Okay. Can I say it is method overloading? Yes. How can you say it is method overloading? I have same method with two parameters. I have same method with two parameters. Now, let me write a main method here only. In the same class, I am writing a main method. Inside this, I am creating object calculator C is equal to new calculator. Calculator C is equal to new calculator. C dot add 10 comma 20. Now, I am calling a method by using a name. I am calling a method by using a name. Did I executed this? Did I execute my program, or I am just writing the calling the method? I'm just calling the method. It is compiled. My program is compiled. It is not executed. Here, when I call c dot add with two parameters, my compiler will decide that, hey, object, you need to call first method. That means it is already taking the decision. Now, when I call c dot add 10 comma 20 comma 30, then what will happen? In the line number 13, first method will be called. In the line number 14, second method will be called. Same object doing two different actions. In the 13th line, calling the first method. In the 14th line, calling the second method. Why it is changing its behavior? Why it is not calling the same method always? Parameters are different. Even though name is the same, parameters are different. So here, parameters are the situation. Parameters are the situation. Based on the number of parameters, my object is deciding whether to call first method, whether to call second method. This is called compile time polymorphism. So at the compilation level only, it is deciding which method my object should call. I am calling type method for two times. Method is the same. I am calling for two times. But first call will go to first method. Second call will go to second method. Why? Compiler is already deciding based on the parameters. If I come to the class, I am teaching. If I go to office, can I teach that? Please come to the class Java. Java is a programming language. Can I teach that class in the office? No, because situation is different. Here I have a students. There I have the colleagues. Here I have students. Here for students I have to teach. This guy, this Takluko, he's sleeping. Give one slap. He's sleeping. Need kya? Stand up. Yes, tell me, what is overloading and overriding? Tell me, what is overloading? methods with the same name is called overloading? Who is that guy? No, somebody gave you answer. Who is that? Stand up. Who is the person who gave the answer? Clue he is giving na? Uska knowledge check karenge. Yeah, tell me, what is overloading? When you take in the same class, if you take same method with different parameters, it is called overloading. What is overriding? What is overriding? क्या क्या बोला? सो गया. I did not explain. Sit down. Alright, guys, now see, sum from first method, sum from first method, sum from second method, so that you can understand which methods it is calling. Okay, so here it will call a method with 2 parameters, here it will call method with 3 parameters. Run this. Yes, can you see the output? Sum from first method, sum from second method. This is called as overloading. Writing same method with different parameters in the same class is called overloading. And why to write the same method with different parameters? Why should we go for only overloading? Why not M1, M2, M3? Why should I write only same name? What reusability? दो methods लिख दिया already. Why should I, listen, we understood what is polymorphism, we understood what is compile time, what is runtime, we understood what is overloading also. But my question is, why should we go for overloading? Few people are saying that to write the same 2 methods with the same name, different parameters, we are going for overloading. My question is, why to use the same name for 2 methods? Why can't you use a different name? She is correct. The reason is methods are doing same operation. Methods are doing the same operation. Okay, first one is doing the addition only, second one also doing the addition only. When somebody look at the method, they will understand both methods are doing the same operation. It will improve readability of the program. What is the main advantage of the overloading? When methods are doing the same operation, then we need to go for overloading by using same name, so that other people can easily understand our methods easily. Readability will be available. Readability will be available. For example, if I take this method as M1, if I take this method as M2, when someone, I can understand because I am the developer. If somebody suddenly come, they will check M1, M2. Array, M1 is doing some operation, M2 doing some operation. They will get confused. Is it improving the readability or decreasing the readability? It is decreasing the readability. New programmers cannot easily understand. New programmers cannot understand easily. Suppose if I give same name, then what new people will think? Array, 2 methods are there, but operation is same. Maybe parameters are different. Simple. Let's go for our string class. Let's go for string class. Let's come to one method called substring method. Okay. See the substring? Can you see this? Why they are not using different name? Why they are using same name? Operation is same. If you pass one parameter from the given index to till last. If I give two parameters from start index to end index, it will give the part of the string. Operation is same. That's why they are using same name. With this, what is the advantage? When somebody look at that documentation, okay, substring method, two methods are available, operation is same, parameters are different. This question I asked so many times in the interview, in my company also. When I ask, what is method overloading? Everybody will say, writing two methods with the same name, different parameters is called overloading. Excellent. Why do you use the same name? Sir, it is overloading, na? Name should be same. But Q. But why? Why can't you want to execute two methods? Instead of giving the same name, you write M1, M2. You can call them na. Functionality will be same, right? If I change the method name to M1 and if I change to M2, output will be different? Output will not be different. Output is same. When it is giving the same output, why to take the same names? Because those methods are doing the same operation. First method is doing the addition, second method also doing the addition. When the methods are doing the same operation, why to give different names for that? If I give different names, people will confuse. Readability will not be available. That's why we will give the same name. The process of writing same name for multiple methods in the same class is called overloading. What is the advantage? Readability. The only advantage is readability. What is the meaning of readability? Understanding the code easily. So, in the IT, in the software, there is a slogan. When I am writing the code, two people will understand, me and Bhagavan. Coding hone ke baad, people will say like this. Simple example. That's so true. That's so true. If anybody asks me a doubt on a program which I have written 6 months back, by looking at the program, mera program hai kya? Definitely we will get that doubt. We will forget that because every day we will do the coding, so we cannot remember that. That's why people will say, at the time of writing the code, I will understand my code, Bhagavan also will understand. After coding is completed, only Bhagavan will understand. मुझे भी समझ में नहीं आता. Right, people will play such kind of jokes on the developers. Yes. Good. Fine. So we understood what is overloading. So the process of writing more than one method with the same name and different parameters is called as method overloading. Why? No. You cannot. Yes, right. Fine guys, see here, overloading. When the methods are performing the same operation, when methods are performing same operation, then we should give same name. Hence, it is called as, hence it will improve code readability. Hence it will improve code readability. Readability, not reusability, readability. Example, can I call substring method? Substring int index. Int what index it is? Int start. If I go for substring int start comma int end. Got it? So why they are not giving two different names? Why they are giving same name? Operation is the same. Two methods are performing the same operation, but behavior is different. It will give the substring from the start to last. It will give the from start to given end. Okay. Though two methods are there in the same class, method names are same, parameters are different, behavior also different. When two methods are doing the same operation, then we will give the same name for them. Then it will call as method overloading. Sir, why this method overloading is called as compile time polymorphism? Compiler will decide which method should be called. There are two methods available with the same name, parameters are different. When I call c.add with 10, 20, compiler will understand, okay, add method with two parameters. First method should be called. c.add 10, 20, 30, three parameters available, second method should be called. To prove that if you pass just another fourth parameter, it will fail at the compile time, not at the run time. Why it will fail at the compile time? It is checking, is there any method with 4 parameters? No, then it will fail at the compile time only. That means it is deciding which method to call at the runtime or at the compile time. Let's check it. Let's check it. If you go for IDE, you will not understand that. Let me go here. New text document. What is the name? Calculator. Calculator.java. Okay. Yes. Calculator class is created. File, exit. Now go to command prompt. Java C calculator.java. Java C calculator. Oh, what is it saying that? Boss, you are calling add method with 4 parameters. C.add method add 2 parameters method not applicable for you. 3 parameter method also not applicable for you. There is no suitable method for you. Fail. So when it is checking which method to call, is it checking at the compilation time or is it checking at the runtime? It is checking at the compilation time. That means my object is exhibiting two behaviors. My object is exhibiting two behaviors. How can I say two behaviors? Here it is deciding to call the first method. Here it is deciding to call the second method. As it is taking the decision at the compile time, it is called compile time polymorphism. Are you getting this? Yeah. Fine. So with this we understood what is compile time polymorphism. When methods are performing same operation, then we should give same name, hence it will improve code reusability. Okay? Which method code readability, sorry. It will improve code reusability. Sorry. It will improve code readability. So in method overloading scenario, compiler will decide which method should be called. Hence it is called. Should be called. For example, if we write like below, then program will fail at compilation stage. When it will fail? Excellent. Yeah, this line will fail. Why it will fail? Why it is failing? Compile C. What now you understand? C. What is a C? C is a reference variable. C D is a reference variable. Holding which class object? Calculator class object. In the calculator, do we have add method? Yes, but add method with 2 parameters available, add method with 3 parameters available. But what I am calling add method with 4 parameters. Available or not available? Not available. Compilation will fail. So decision is making at the compile time or run time? Decision making at the compile time. That's why it is called as compile time polymorphism. What is the example for compile time polymorphism? Method overloading is the example for compile time polymorphism. Clear? Yes. Same thing we can do with the constructor overloading also. Can I write more than one constructor with 2 parameters? Yes. When it will decide which constructor to be called? Based on the parameters. Here already we have that example, I think so. Before inheritance we discussed about constructor. हाँ एनकैप्सुलेशन के पहले मॉडिफायर्स के पहले yes so writing more than one constructor with different parameters is called as constructor overloading, method overloading and constructor overloading. For freshers, damn sure question, overloading and overriding differences. Guys, can we achieve overloading in 2 different classes? If you write same methods in 2 different classes, then it is not called as overloading. Overloading always belongs to single class, same class. If you write 2 methods with the same name with different parameters in same class, then only it is called as overloading. Are you clear, guys? That is tomorrow concept, overriding. Yes, operation can be different only, right? Here it is doing sum with 2 numbers. Here it is doing sum with 3 numbers. Operation is same, but behavior is different. Operation is same, behavior is different. Yeah. Any questions? No? Fine. That is called overriding. Tomorrow topic. Okay. Yes. Method overloading for only methods. For constructors also you can do overloading. Mr. Prasad, for constructors also we can do overloading. Doubt session. Yeah, Roshni, I will arrange the doubt session. Okay? Yeah. Module 2. I will confirm in 2 days for online people. Okay guys? Fine. Thank you. We'll see in the tomorrow session.